What is happening, y'all? Happy Menus Going Live Day. It is Saturday, February 1st, and you know what that means here in Houston. Well, the Houston area, because I'm going to tell you where we are in a second, but it is day one for you guys to see the participating restaurants in this year's Eat Drink HTX, which runs February 15th through the 28th. Benefits the Houston Food Bank and Kids Meals Inc. this year. And y'all, we've got something special for you today. We've got a brand new first-time participant. We're out here in the Seabrook Clear Lake area right here on NASA Road 1. And we're at Noon Mirch Kitchen and Bar. This is Annika and her husband, Neville, and they've got an incredible menu. I came in here. First thing I did was I smelled because, you know, this is you're going to smell all the smells. And I knew that I'm home. I mean, this is a place where I might have a hard time leaving. But this is an incredible menu. Y'all have a beautiful restaurant.
Thank you very much.
And thank you so much for letting us be here. So tell us a little bit about the restaurant. Y'all have been open since 2017.
So you want me to go?
Yeah,
So basically, this place has been open since 2017, but our actual restaurant in Mirch has been open since 1989. We've been serving the Webster Clear Lake area since then. The recipes all originate from his mother. She's created all of them, and we're just kind of carrying on the legacy. And so there's so many delicious items. We have authentic Indian curries, and then we also have some fusion items. And so, yeah, we're here for all you guys to enjoy the delicious food and everything we have to offer. And of course, lovely, delicious alcoholic beverages.
Oh, yes. We can't forget those. And, you know, it's so cool because you guys, you know, this is a family legacy, family business, family legacy. We were talking a little bit earlier. Once we get into the dishes, you were telling me about how your mom is still helping you with those dishes and those ingredients.
She is. And it's really, you know, she's still around. So, you know, might as well make the most. It's also family bonding time, mother and son. When it's like, she's like, hey, what are you working on? Working on this. She's like, oh, can I come and help? And I'm like, yeah, sure. No worries. Even though she's retired, it's more of a, you know, family time. Let's work on butter chicken samosas. February's coming around. You know, let's do the butter chicken bao bun, which we did last year. That's one of my favorites because it's a combination of Asian cuisine, bao bun, and then the butter chicken. You know, you can't go wrong with butter chicken. No, everybody loves butter chicken.
We love butter chicken.
You know, we're doing the butter chicken nanza, which is, you know, basically a pizza naan, butter chicken topped off with it. You know, I've been in this restaurant working since I was 9 years old, going on caterings when most kids were out there playing soccer, everything. And, you know, my heart and everything is just in it. And it's really nice to carry on a family legacy and have a wife that also wants to be a part of it. And, you know, working here every day, coming up with recipes, engaging with customers is really beautiful.
And now you're actually going to be feeding needy Houstonians with your Eat Drink HTX menu. And that reminds me, y'all, we are here for the stars of the show. Let's go to the foodie cam to take a look. I promise you, once you see this food, you're going to want to make a reservation and try this dish. All right, Chef Neville, what are we looking at here?
So right here, we're looking at they're from Nepal. These are authentic momos from Nepal. And if a lot of you guys don't know, Nepal is sandwiched between India and China. So I like to call these, you know, Chinese dumplings on steroids, because basically you have amazing aromatic Indian spices, you know, chicken momos. So ground up, the aromatic spices in there, stuffed with their handmade, hand sealed, and so basically you got a Chinese dumpling with Indian spices. And they're amazing.
You said
Momos.
What is, so tell everybody, is that a term for
Momo is a term for Nepali dumplings.
Okay.
So, you know, the Chinese culture calls them either dim sum, which are open, or they call them gyozas. So it's basically a gyoza. And those are steamed, but we can make them pan fried. Gyozas are typically pan fried.
And these are called momos.
These are called momos. Yeah, from Nepal. You know, which again, our restaurant, we do have fusion items, but these are authentic momos from Nepal. Ooh. We also have from South India. We have as well So just it's a you have to understand that India is an amalgamation of cultures, and so many different colonies have conquered it. So at some point they've left behind their culture and their spices and their food, which is really amazing. Like in Goa, you had Portugal influence and they conquered it and they were occupied it for so long. So you have Goan fish curry, which is a combination of Portuguese curry and food.
Yeah. So you dip it in the sauce.
So do I break it open?
No, you
or
dip it in and
I'll just go and dip
so
it
dip,
in
and then is the sauce spicy?
No,
or
it's
no
not.
spicy?
It's a tomato-based chutney.
It's a little hot.
Ooh, really good. A little bit of a spice, a little bit of a kick in there too,
absolutely.
but not too much.
No.
Like my son could do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of kids go for that.
Really good. Warm, cold. It seems like it would be okay either or, warm or cold.
It can once you pop one in your mouth, the fun don't stop.
Yeah, no, for sure. And so this is one of the dishes that's going to be on your first course of your Eat Drink HTX menu. All right, let's go back to the foodie cam. We have a lot to show you guys here at Noon Mirch Kitchen and Bar right here on NASA Road 1. Annika, what are we looking at?
So these are our vegetable samosas. Well, actually, one's veggie, one's lamb, but for the menu, they get to choose whether they want chicken, lamb, or veggie. So basically, these are pastries that are filled with vegetables like potatoes, peas, or the lamb one is just ground lamb with a lot of spices. There's so many different variations of samosas. These are typically like the Punjabi samosas. They're really big and plump, just like us Punjabi.
Listen, we like big and plump. Big and plump win.
Yeah.
These are my favorite.
When we're talking about food, it wins.
These are honestly samosas. I just love them wherever I go, and these are amazing because they're not really oily, and so they're just delicious. And the recipe, his mother has perfected over the years, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I like the non-oily part of it because I feel like in the beginning of your meal, you don't want to be,
so full.
you don't want to get so heavy with the oils and the fried, and so that's smart to make it a little bit less.
And when we made that up, we just modified that together, her and I and Annika in 2020 when we joined, because we also found that too, they were too oily. So this is more flaky, just a lot more savory to me. And I really like to just call it a Indian empanada.
Oh,
yeah. Those of you who have had empanadas.
Oh, yes. And no, it is. It is like the empanada on the outside, which is also in that same vein. I really prefer baked empanadas now instead of fried. And you can find them. You just have to find the places that do it because it is a different process.
It is.
But it really, I think I happen to like the baked instead, and I don't feel as greasy afterwards.
You won't really tell that these are oiled, but my favorite is the vegetable one, which is the one next to it.
Ooh, this is really tasty. Yes, I love this. This is excellent.
And you can eat it any way you like, and a lot of folks, they just pop this top off, pour in the chutney, and eat it like that. However you prefer.
Oh yeah, no, that I would. That's something sounds like something I would do. And I should mention. Let's just go ahead and mention what I'm drinking here because this is a very traditional Indian drink. Yeah. So what is this?
It's masala chai. It's our own blend of spices. Like I was telling Katie earlier, we get to kind of blend in so many spices and kind of choose how much caffeine and stuff we like to put in there. And actually, we have an alcoholic version of our masala chai too.
Oh, I love how you guys are, putting your own spin on things. We're out here in the Webster Clear Lake area. We did another episode recently for Eat Drink HTX at Athena's Corner, and it's a very similar, the family coming from the East Coast. They're Greek, but they're putting their Texas spin on it.
Oh, yeah,
they got some Greek tacos with feta, and it's a beautiful. It is what makes this city, I think, one of the best places.
Houston
in the world.
is like just so many restaurants and so many different cultures, and that's why we enjoy making different food for our Houstonians.
Yeah, well, and you're feeding people too who really need the help. All right, back to the foodie cam out here in the Webster area. We are at Noon Mirch Kitchen and Bar. That is Annika. That is Neville. And this is the star of the show. Chef Neville, what are we looking at?
We are looking at mixed vegetable pakoras. So you have the spinach pakoras in there. Really crispy, really crunchy, really flaky. One of our top sellers, most popular items.
They're gluten-free too.
Yeah, gluten-free. Yep. And so we got also as well as potato pakoras in
Bell
there,
peppers,
bell pepper
jalapenos.
pakoras, jalapeno pakoras in there. So pakora is basically battered in our graham flour, which is basin flour. That's what makes it gluten free. For those of you with celiac disease that need gluten-free options.
Well, there's a lot of people who I'm one of those people who really, I'm not celiac. I don't have a medical condition, but I just feel better when I don't eat a ton of bread.
100%. Yeah, you don't feel as much bloated, and same here. And so it's a lot. It's a better, healthier option.
I like the spinach ones because they remind me, and a lot of customers say they're like kale chips. That's what they always say. They're like, you should describe them as kale chips. Ooh. They're crunchy. See that crunch?
Wait, this is kale?
No.
Okay.
It's baby spinach.
That's the best tasting kale I've ever had.
It's
this
spinach,
is amazing.
but it's still good spinach, right?
Amazing. No, but the crunch on the outside is very important. It's a very good taste. Good job, chef. Good job, chef.
Yeah, definitely. And we have to. It's hard to keep these crunchy for so long. So there's so many different experiments we have to do to make sure that the crunch stays, even though it's been sitting on the table.
That's a jalapeno.
That's a jalapeno.
It's jalapeno.
Yeah, but it's not bad. I'm not dying.
Yeah.
Not until I have the death wings.
That one is the heat.
There's death wings here.
Bring the heat.
And they're right here on the foodie cam. Let's go. I'm not going to die.
Bring the heat.
They actually have death wings. We go to a lot of restaurants. I love all the names. So many incredible original names, but I don't think I've heard of death wings. And I don't know why I haven't heard of death wings. Tell me about the death wings.
They have a 5-pepper blend in them. One of them being habanero, bell pepper, a couple other top secret ingredients. But why these are so special to me is they're really, really flavorful. So when you eat it, you get the nice smoky aromatic flavors, but then on about 30 seconds to a minute later, you're like, oh no, what did I just eat? And you start feeling the heat.
They're addicting.
And to me, I've seen like a unicorn on them. Like I've eaten 3 or 4 real fast, and I've seen unicorns like, oh man, these are hallucinogenic.
So maybe the name is not so often.
Unicorn wings.
Maybe like as you thinking about certain things, I don't know. Oh.
100% illegal, no psychedelic, but again, they're something special.
Yep.
They're
now,
one of my favorites.
Now I want to talk a little bit about you guys. So it sounds like you guys kind of grew up in Houston, because you said you've been working.
I was born and raised in this area. Yeah, I'm 40 years old. I went to Armin Bayou Elementary in this area. I went to middle school in this area. High school, I graduated Clear Lake High School, 2003.
Shout out Clear Lake High School.
2003, class of 2003. So, I mean, I know this area like the back of my hand. I don't need Apple navigation, Apple Maps here.
Yeah.
And I've seen this area blow up. When I was here, 18, driving to Gallery used to take 15, 20 minutes.
Straight shot.
Yeah, straight shot. 45, there you go. Now it's an hour and a half. She grew up in Katy.
I was born in England, in London, but I grew up in Katy, went to Cinco Ranch High School.
Shout out Cinco Ranch High School.
And then, oh shit, that just gave away my age. But so we're basically Houstonians, and we've seen Houston, Katy, Webster just blow up.
Yeah.
Over the past 5 years even. Yeah. And so we love just, kind of giving them a taste of our culture and our food. And so, a lot of people are moving here. And so when they come here, it's a lot of people's first time. And they're like, oh my God, the Indian food is just like, England, or it's so good, or I've never had something like this. Yeah. And so, yeah.
Well, and what you're doing too, and what I think is so special because you guys, grew up here, your parents, running a successful business is, it is a little bit of a hike to get down here, but you are such an asset for this community because I've heard of this restaurant, even though I live on the west side.
Wow.
And we kind of, we stay in our little areas sometimes, and then like, we got to get out to these restaurants that we keep hearing about. This was one of those restaurants that I've been hearing about for years. Really? And that's your fault. You know, like this brings me out to Webster, Clear Lake area, and you have to just be really proud for that because you're introducing so many other people that maybe have not tried Indian cuisine. And you're making it accessible for them. So you should be proud.
So to be quite honest with you, me and my husband just purchased this restaurant in April of 2024. So now we're trying to put the word out there. Like, hey, come and try us. Like we get caterings for weddings and stuff, but you're right. People don't want to travel here that far. But when they do, they're like, oh my God, this is my spot now.
And it becomes a destination. Like, let's go out to Webster.
We get folks from Woodlands that come out here and they drive an hour. I met a gentleman about a month ago and he said, I came here for NASA and he was from Dallas. He came here for NASA and he ate here and he said it's the best Indian food he's ever had. And he's from India. Maybe like 10 years ago he moved here. And so then I just met him a month ago and he's like, hey, I just drove down from Dallas just to eat here. I said, no, you didn't. You really just drove down from Dallas to eat here? He's like, no, I really did.
Oh yeah, he
with
did.
My friends. And I was like, what? Like, you didn't come for NASA this time? He's like, no, I just came down here from Dallas because I love it so much. He took a huge order back with him. And he said he's going to go freeze it and eat it out of thing. And I was like, wow.
Listen, y'all, this is
awesome.
No, seriously, this is one of the reasons why I think this is just the best city in the world, you know, because also we have very educated foodies. Our people, we know how to eat. We know what's good. All right. Speaking of what's good, let's go back to the foodie cam. Oh my goodness. Double trouble. What are we looking at, chef?
This is masala peanuts. They are vegan. And they are, I would say, a lot of flavor in them. Pairs really, really well with Flying Horse, our Indian beer, or the Taj Mahal Indian beer. They're also on the happy hour, available 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. Well, sorry, Monday through Friday.
Oh,
and those drinks that are pictured are the luscious lychee, the Priscilla's petal punch, and of course a mango lassi, which is made from fresh mangoes and yogurt, homemade yogurt.
Classic, wonderful drink. I love the mango lassi. Now this is your Taj Mahal Indian beer.
One of the most popular, one of the most popular out there. Really pairs excellent with the
I like this bottle. It's like a mixture between like a champagne bottle and a beer.
It is.
It's kind of like champagne-y beer. I mean, I feel like I'm drinking a champagne. It's just kind of, I like it. That's pretty. And then this is your vegan dish. Now, how many vegetarian dishes would you say? Probably a lot on your menu, and then
a lot. A lot. Yeah.
I mean, we cater to everyone: gluten-free, vegan, vegetarian, no onion, no garlic. I mean, no tomato, just anything you have. So
we can make anything.
We can make, because everything's made from scratch, so we can make it however you want, really. But amazing,
and that's probably why too you have such a wide following, because people know that they get your signature flavors, and you can really make it to their dietary requirements, which is kind of a big deal these days. You know, like people really have to, think about what they're eating and avoid things that don't make them feel good.
So with these in England, they always have them in pubs. They always have like masala nuts. And I was just like, I feel like no Indian restaurant has these. And I was just like, it's so nice to have with a glass of wine, with a beer, with a cocktail starting out. So, obviously I told him to create something for me, and boom.
There you go. I mean, it seems like you did a great job. And then we should mention this beautiful drink as well.
That's a smoked old fashioned. It comes in a cloche, but I think he already took that away. But it's smoky, so it comes in a cloche. It's made with Woodford's Reserve, orange bitters, Angostura. I mean, with a Luxardo cherry, it's amazing.
And I have to say, there's Ghost Ice in there.
Oh yeah, Ghost Ice.
So we recently purchased a Ghost Ice machine, and with that, you get a completely clear ice cube, all the impurities removed.
And you see, it has a
little design on the top.
It
hasn't melted. It melts. It takes so long, so your drink doesn't become like an ice watered down drink.
Yes, very nice. I see a lot of trips to Webster in my future. All right, back to the foodie cam we go here at Noon Mirch Kitchen and Bar, taking a look at some of the items that will be on their Eat Drink HTX menu. You can get these items February 15th through the 28th. And of course, benefits to Houston Food Bank and kids meals. Okie dokie. Annika, what are we looking at?
So these is their hummus and naan chips. So our naan chips are actually made with naan bread. And so we kind of, fry those.
Yeah, we deep fry them.
He's the chef, not me.
We deep fry them, and then they have our in-house. We'll use grind those spices.
Yeah, I grind the spices.
Top secret spices, the garam masala, a couple other seasonings in there. And what's special about this, this is a Middle Eastern dish, but our twist on it is the Indian version, whereas it's topped with ghee and not olive oil where they do in the Middle East. Mm-hmm. And then we also have it topped with cumin. Mm-hmm. So you get more Indian flavors. It's basically, it is a Middle Eastern dish, but it's Noon Mirch's version of hummus and pita bread, but it's hummus and naan chips.
I love that. I mean, look, this is Houston. I feel like there are, so many versions of hummus that exist, and they're all good in my book. I mean, they really are. And I love seeing the versions of it. And I love seeing all of these, combinations of flavors. And like you were talking about earlier, you were talking to your mom and you're like, hey, let's put some potato in the samosa. And then she's like, wait, let's put some sweet potato in the samosa. And that's just so amazing.
And then she's like, no, we need to have all three of them next to each other. We need to try each one and see what's best.
Yeah.
And so we all took our votes, and then it wasn't the original butter chicken samosas. It was the butter chicken with regular potatoes in there. So
that's really good. Yeah. Yes, it's got its own flavor. Amazing. It's excellent. And mamas always know best.
Yeah.
They do. Mama's cooking always knows best.
Mamas know best. And I told you, you're going to, 10 years from now, you're going to have that recipe and you're going to be like remembering when you and your mom were going over the recipe and deciding what to, I promise you, it'll happen.
I think that's the best thing, is doing it together as a family.
Mm-hmm.
So after the drinks, the best part is going to be the curries.
Okay. Oh, these are beautiful.
So that's the Priscilla's Petal Punch.
Yep.
Ooh, yeah.
All right, back to the foodie cam we go for another preview of the Eat Drink HTX menu here at Noon Mirch Kitchen and Bar. I feel like I am needing to go swim right now in what I'm smelling. Oh my goodness, what are we looking at?
The best stuff ever.
Yes, the best ever. That's all we need to say.
So the orange one is the famous butter chicken. It's made in our, butter chicken sauce with nice, juicy, tender pieces of chicken. And, just to let you know, you can make this any spice level you want. So our curries usually come like mild or regular. We can make it little hot, medium hot, or even vindaloo, tindaloo hot. I mean, we can burn you, or we can be we can burn you, or we can be pseudo like
when they come in the door. Do you ask them? It's like, ma'am, would you like to be burned?
No,
today?
I'm telling you,
sure, we have to be burned.
We have customers that say no, just burn me, and I'm like, and the chef's like, okay. I can do that for you, and then they're just mixing. But the butter chicken, I personally like it little hot. It does come mild regular. Then we have saag paneer, which is our homemade cheese in a spinach creamed sauce. And then we have the dal makhni, which is makhni means butter, so it's slow cooked lentils in a creamy butter sauce. They're just amazing. And then behind there we have the garlic naan made fresh in our tandoor. They're also eggless, so if anyone doesn't like to eat eggs, we have those. And then we have the basmati rice with peas. And so those will be on our Eat Drink HTX menu.
And I'll say all those items, they're 100% authentic Indian food.
Yep.
We have our fusion items. The samosa is authentic, but that's 100% North Indian authentic food. So,
oh my goodness, that does it for us, y'all. Remember, menus are live. Get out there. EatDrinkHTX.com is your source for dining out and doing good in February, supporting the Houston Food Bank and Kids Meals Inc. this year. And remember, you have February 15th through the 28th to do all of that good in Houston, and come out here to Webster. I'll be out here. You may see me. They're not going to get me to leave. That's about to happen. We'll see you guys on another episode of Foodies and Friends on Fox 26.